So we are back, and we're going to be talking about Supercard of Honor. I was a bit worried about this show, but to be honest with you, it gave us a full thumbs up from me. I did like this show a lot.
It was a decent show.
So, obviously, you had the Lucha Things match. We had...
This is kind of weird that it was the first match of the card. You would think that they'd push it up the card a little bit more, but...
Hijo del Vikingo taking on Komander for the AAA Mega Champion. This title is being defended a lot, and I'm not sure how I feel about it.
I'm not sure I feel about it either.
Now, I like that the main champion within AAA is giving exposure to AAA as a brand because they're really, really wanting to push that expansion, but it's like, Rey Fenix is a dual champion within AAA, and... there are a lot of other champions within that promotion. Yeah. It's like you guys have Taya Valkyrie, who is one of the more well-known Reina de Reinas champions.
Right.
So it was just weird. But anyway, let's go into the match. It was a lucha. It was a lucha match with lucha things, ironically, because the Komander was Kalisto. So.
Right. Anyways, but yeah, lucha match.
Lucha match. Lots of flippies. Really good stuff, too. Nothing looked like it got screwed up.
Right.
And everybody
but Hijo del Vikingo is not known for screwing up a lot. So.
No, because that guy just does not know what gravity is. Right. I don't think he's ever heard of it. Anyway, it was the... oh, God, what was it that he won with? Because I have a huge thing of notes here. It was a 630 for Vikingo to win. I'm going to give it a full thumbs up. It was close to a 2 for me. Let's get into the 6-man tag. There was at least a rivalry within this going into it because AR Fox... Blake Christian and Metalik were teaming regularly on Ring of Honor television, which is the benefit of having a television show.
Right.
Instead of just booking a bunch of people for champions that aren't exposed. And it's like, well, why are these people facing these people? Anyway, the Embassy taking on Fox, Christian, and Metalik. I did like this match. I like the contrast of styles. I'm going to give it an Orange Cassidy thumbs up because I kind of felt like I knew Brian Cage is right out the door. They want to keep him, so they're keeping the title on him. They
want to keep the titles on him because obviously, because the contract is renewing soon.
Yep. So. Drill claw for Brian Cage to win. He's been picking up a ton of momentum here, and he was on Rampage this last week. So there you go.
Right.
Let's go into the women's champion match. Orange Cassidy thumbs down. It was Yuka Sakazaki challenging Athena. This was our first exposure to brand new champions for Ring of Honor because new logo. Right. It's the older ones. But the issue is that they're not changing all of the champions. Right. Number one, the champions look stupid. They only did a recolor and a redesign of the logo for this title. Right. So it does not match the style of the new champions. Obviously, they wanted to replace the tag team champions, but what about the 6-man tag? What about the television champion? That thing is so gold and frilly, that looks like the world champion now. Because now all of the champions are silver and red. Right. Hopefully they all change it. Anyway, let's get back to the match. It was fine. Yeah. Athena does get a pop, but it's like, is she a heel? Is she a baby face? We just don't know. I don't get that rough and tumble. Right. That people are like, oh my God, she's such a badass. She's beating people up. It's like, yeah, she was doing that at first, but then she's like really pulled it back. Yeah. And I'm like...
well, I wonder if she was told to because she is very injury prone when she's not...
that's true. She really is,
when she's not held back. So maybe she's just trying to save some people from being injured.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they put the belt on her. They really want her to be the face of the women's division within Ring of Honor going forward. It's not a bad face. She has a name to her, obviously. Right. So, continuing on that... why this girl? You know, I like Sakazaki. Was she competing regularly on television that I'm aware of? Because I don't know.
Right, I'm not aware of that.
It seems very random.
It does. It seems like a random pick, but hey, things are just starting back up for the television show, so maybe we'll see more development.
Right. I need to keep that in mind. The television show has only been around for like a month at this point. At least they're back in some way, shape, or form. Right. Anyway, it was the O-face for Athena to retain the champion. That was fine. This was odd. Now, Samoa Joe defending against Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe, obviously the brother died. Right. He has his family there. And people are saying, strike when the iron is hot. Right now, you cannot put Mark Briscoe in more of a white-hot situation than this right here. But then he passes out for Samoa Joe to retain. And the match was good. I like this match a lot.
But, again, questionable decision. Why keep the title on Joe? Because now you have to establish Mark Briscoe as a singles competitor, because he was never a singles competitor like his brother was in the old Ring of Honor.
Right, because Mark Briscoe never won a singles champion.
He never won a singles champion. But this is where you had to do it. Is you have to establish him as a singles competitor now.
And a viable singles competitor.
Right.
And he can have good matches, but wins and losses, aren't they supposed to matter within the AEW cinematic universe? I mean, Ring of Honor is a part of that, people. Just get over it.
Yeah.
These are AEW people.
Yeah.
And the fact that they did not put the title on Briscoe, I wonder if they got cold feet because they didn't want people to think that he just got this because his brother died.
Right, but I
don't think that's necessarily true.
It's kind of that Cody Rhodes moment where it's like, why was this decision made? I think let me
see the follow up to what they do with this decision, and then maybe my judgment will change. Just like Cody Rhodes, I thought it was weird, but apparently the Roman Reigns retaining was always in the plan.
Yeah, there was never a plan. Yeah, there was never a plan for Cody to win.
Maybe we'll see SummerSlam.
Right.
Maybe we'll see it then because I think Cody is really very much a attraction, and him facing Lesnar is going to be good. But Mark Briscoe doesn't have that yet. This is his first real true test, and I think they are going to miss the opportunity for a white-hot Briscoe who's been winning matches.
And again, while the iron is hot, as he develops into a singles competitor.
Right. Maybe they'll put him into the world title scene, but it sounds like he really wants to do television. But it's, it was a weird choice.
It was a weird choice.
Samoa Joe doesn't need this belt. Mark Briscoe needs this belt.
Right. Anyways, I'm going to give it Orange Cassidy thumbs down.
Yeah, I'm going to as well. It was a good match up until the ending, and then it actually almost killed the crowd for me.
Yeah, it did. I could tell the crowd just died.
Yep. Anyway, let's go into this random match. Hiroshi Tanahashi and Daniel Garcia. The match was fine. I'm going to give it an Orange Cassidy thumbs down. Daniel Garcia is not as good as people think he is. He isn't. He's very vanilla.
Yeah, he is. Very green.
There's nothing about him that just kind of pops on me.
Tanahashi just...
He's not even that good of a wrestler. He's fine. He's fine at best. And the thing about Tanahashi is that Tanahashi at least is good.
Right, so he carried the match.
He has the finesse. He has that energy.
Right.
But, Daniel Garcia is just like walking out. It's like, does he care?
Right, I don't know.
I legitimately don't believe this guy cares. Luckily, he lost with High Fly Flow. So, this is Tanahashi's second win.
Right.
Because he beat Bayley.
Right.
So, it's like, man, Tanahashi's on a roll. Maybe he should have been at WrestleMania. He probably could have beaten Reigns. Anyway, like I said, the match itself was fine. It feels like they just kind of threw this match together. To make this Majestic again, I would have put...
I would have not had this match on the card.
I would have had Tanahashi face somebody maybe a little more high profile.
Right.
Because then at least you're using Hiroshi Tanahashi in a way that makes sense.
Right. You're not wasting that payday.
Right. It just seems like this was a total waste.
Right.
It's like have Tanahashi face Jericho. That would be fine. Or Tanahashi facing Jon Moxley. I mean, people would have gone through the door to see that match.
Right.
But they just didn't do it.
Right.
Reach for the Sky Ladder match. Aussie Open, Top Flight, La Faccion, Ingobernable, the Kingdom, and the Lucha Brothers.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. that is exactly... I knew this was going to be a car crash. I knew it. But my God, I have never seen such a sloppy, disjointed, no story told in the ring ladder match ever. And I've seen multi-person ladder matches.
Wasn't there a multi-person tag team match? It's the night before that was just pretty good.
Right, exactly. You had that. You had a pretty good one where there was a structure in the story told in the ring. This was just not it. It was just a bunch of people doing moves.
Right. That pretty much was my impression of
it was so bad that Dante Martin's foot went the other direction. I mean, literally, his foot was like a Baba Booey. I mean, I feel so bad for them.
Yeah.
They just got their feet at the beginning of this year, and I'm like, these two should be the ones to take the titles off of the Guns. They had the match against the Guns, and they lost.
And then you lost all their momentum, and now one of them is injured again.
Oh, actually, they lost their momentum because Chris Jericho had to beat them.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they beat them. So, congratulations, Tony Khan. You might have just, royally screwed one of your best teams. Your best young teams with Top Flight.
Yeah.
Now, the Lucha Brothers won. I kind of had a feeling this was going to win.
Because, had the brothers win the match. It was pretty predictable.
There were 3 pairs of brothers in this.
Oh, there were?
La Faccion and Ingobernable are brothers.
Oh, that's right.
And then Top Flight are brothers.
Oh, that's right. Duh. But one of the brothers' teams had to win.
Right. And obviously, this was the introduction to our first new champions. The new titles, they look so generic. Oh my god. So the Pure, World, and Tag look exactly the same.
They're all generic.
I get uniformity with titles, but there has to be a grandiose visually with the world champion.
Right. But anyways, let's move on to the next match.
Look at the Impact World Champion. I mean, that one's gold. The rest of them are silver. That makes sense. God damn it, people are stupid. Anyway, Lucha Brothers won. Good moment. Just not a great match.
No.
It just wasn't. I expected more.
Speaking of the Pure Champion, let's talk about this.
This was boring.
Yeah.
I have seen great Pure Championship matches, don't get me wrong.
But Wheeler Yuta is just... I mean, I like the guy. He has a lot of potential in him, but he's just generic.
Also, why are you giving Shibata a belt?
Right.
I don't understand Shibata getting this belt.
I don't understand it either. Was there a story going into this? I don't think there was.
No. So Wheeler Yuta challenged Shibata.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, he challenged Shibata for this match, so there was at least that. Does Shibata live in the United States?
I don't think so.
I think he's actually one of the trainers for the LA Dojo.
Oh, okay.
So that might be why he's here. Maybe they'll do something with it, but as of right now, I just thought that this was a very questionable decision because Shibata is not a signed guy to your company.
Right.
Why are you giving non-signed guys belts?
Well, because you knew that person was going to lose. So.
What are you talking about?
No, because you knew that the person who was not signed with the company
was going to win.
Right.
Yeah. So the match itself, there was maybe one break. There was no momentum in this match.
It wasn't contested under pure rules.
It was.
Oh,
okay. It was pure rules.
I just thought the match was so boring that it just didn't feel like it.
The issue is that it kind of got to second gear and then it just stopped.
Yeah.
Instead of what it should have happened was this up, and then you have the cool down pin.
Right.
You didn't even have this.
Right.
It was just boop, and that was it. So there was just nothing there that really kind of grasped me on it, but it was PK one. It was one PK. Man, maybe show Wheeler as a credible threat,
right?
Instead of just a easy payday for Katsuyori.
Exactly.
But yeah, Shibata won. It was meh. Moving on, main event. Now this main event, on the other hand, was very good.
Yes.
Claudio,
I honestly didn't have high expectations for this.
I was kind of on the fence about it, but they really showed up, and this was a lot of fun. Now, this is how a match was supposed to be. Up and then the down. Eddie Kingston still looked credible.
Yep.
There was a distraction. Claudio continuing to be a good heel.
Yeah.
I'm going to give him credit. I like heel Blackpool Combat Club.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they should change the name, but that's beside the point. Ring of Honor World Champion. This felt like a main event.
Yeah.
And I'm happy about that because they really needed to close this show with something good.
Yep. And they did. They delivered.
Oh, yeah. They absolutely delivered. And I'm very happy about it. It was a roll-up after that for the win. That's how he won.
That's how heels win.
And
then you establish Eddie Kingston as one of your top baby faces within the company, at least on the ROH side. And now you can have him continue to go after that gold because, you have screwed out at this.
It's April. I'm not sure if Tony Khan has the patience to book this to Final Battle in December, but you never know.
Well, you never know. There could be a whole story arc behind it.
There was a post-match thing that I didn't really necessarily like, where it was only Wheeler Yuta and Claudio But then Katsuyori came back out, and it's like, are we going to have a winner-take-all title match here? Like, what's going on? It feels very disjointed and very unnecessary.
Yeah.
So, but at the very least, the match was good.
Yes.
And I'm happy about that. And that was really the end of Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor.
Yep.
I thought they delivered fairly well.
Yeah, did you want to give a rating for the main event?
I'm going to give it a full thumbs up.
Yeah.
It was close to a 2.
Yep.
Maybe a little more time on it.
Yep.
Maybe a little more emotion and passion.
Yep.
But I think they have a good starting point to something really good in the future. And if this is what Ring of Honor is going to be, then I'm for it.
Yep.
This is that passion.
Oh,
that, to be honest
absolutely.
with you, this felt like I'm watching 2019 AEW again. It felt different,
Yeah,
you know?
it did.
And I'm happy that at least there was an avenue within that cinematic universe that has that passion.
Right.
So, when we come back, we're going to be covering Stand and Deliver, and that will be the end of the show.